So, hello, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we will discuss about web technologies. So, what are the web technologies in computer applications in pharmacy? So, in web technologies, to develop a technology, first of all, we have to know the language which the computer can understand. So, first we have to know about the languages. Then, after knowing about the languages, we can develop the technology. The language is the prime criteria for development of any software or technology in computers. So in that, the first language we will discuss that is HTML language. So you have been listening about this HTML language since your childhood. So what is HTML language? HTML language is the primitive language. It is nothing but it is the hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. This is one of the standard markup languages for creating the web pages and applications. Now you see www dot. So that is nothing but a web page. So for creating such type of web pages and for creating some applications, this HTML language is highly necessary. This is the most primitive and oldest language to use. And it also provides the authors for publishing their documents. The authors can publish their documents in the system by using this HTML language. It also retrieves online information. Means whatever the information which is stored in the online, we can retrieve the information by using this language. This browser can change text to layout and images. Images and layouts can be brought by changing the text by using this language. Here, the elements are represented by tags. Tags means nothing but tag symbols. And these tags are surrounded by brackets. So when you apply these terminology, then it becomes HTML language. So HTML language is nothing but hypertext markup language. It is one of the most standard markup language. It is mainly used to create web pages and applications. Next language is XML language. So what is this XML language? It is nothing but extensible markup language. XML language is also called as extensible markup language. It mainly describes the data. So what does the HTML will do? HTML just displays the data on the system. But this XML is used to describe the data which is displayed on the system. So that is why XML is one of the useful language. HTML just displays the data, but XML describes the data. So that is the difference between HTML and XML language. It provides so total detailed information about the product and also the tools. It is mainly used in the tools which are used for office tools like MS Office. MS Office there. In MS Office, what we will do? We will use MS Word, MS Excel, and MS PowerPoint. This all needs a language called as XML. And it is also used in development of web technology. And it is used to share and store the data. It can create some new languages. So that is the XML language, which is also called as extensible markup language. The main difference between HTML and XML is what? HTML is used to display the data, but XML describes the data. So this is about XML. Next one is CSS. So what is the CSS? CSS is nothing but it is called as cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets. It mainly describes how the HTML elements can be displayed on the screen. How to display this HTML language on the screen is described by CSS. It makes the web pages more presentable. More presentable means more beautiful. It makes the web page more beautiful. It adds some flavor to the web pages. It gives many styles to the web pages. And it also contains the rules for the presentation of HTML language. And this CSS is very easy to maintain and also easy to modulate. You can modify it very easily. You can maintain it very easily. So that is about CSS language. Cascading style sheets. In the name itself, it is there. You see cascading style sheets. So it represents the language in a stylish form. So that is the importance of this CSS language. Next, when you move to programming languages. So what are the programming languages? In the name itself, it is there. You see programming languages. The language which is given for the designing the program of a computer. The languages which are used to design the software of a computer are called as programming languages. These are the main tools, or this is the main portion which can design a program. The language is the main portion which can design a program. So these are different types. In that there are 5 generations of these programming languages. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. So in the first generation, the language is totally mission dependent. It is only understood by the computer. The mission dependent language is only understood by the computer. So that is the first generation language. Next, when it comes to second generation is used to translate into a mission language. So in the second generation language, what happens? It is translated into mission language. The language is completely translated into mission language. So that is the second generation language. Next, third generation language. So in the second generation language, what happens? There are various abbreviations or words which can be used as in binary numbers. This second generation language is totally dependent on the hardware. That is why this has to be translated into mission language. Next, when it comes to third generation language is nothing but this is the language which looks closer to the English language. But it contains some mathematical notations. Mathematical notations means some mathematical symbols like plus plus. You can see the example there, C, C++, English language. C means it is an English term, so it is closer to the English language. Plus, plus, plus. These are the mathematical notations. This is one of the easiest language to use and learn. But it takes more time for running the program. So that is why fourth generation language is also introduced. So in the fourth generation, what happened? In the fourth generation language, it completes the task with less instructions. Means you can give the computer only some instructions, but it can understand and it can complete the task with the instructions which you have given. So that is it can save a lot of time for the programmer. It can save a lot of time for the programmers and no need to write many codes. So it is an interactive database management system. So that is why fourth generation is one of the developed generation management system. Example is SQL language. Next one is fifth generation language. Fifth generation language is totally dependent on the mathematical logics. The questions and commands which are portrayed in an interactive manner in these languages. It is totally based on artificial intelligence. Whatever we have seen today, AI, artificial intelligence, it is totally dependent on this fifth generation language. Example for these fifth generation languages are Java, iOS, JS, like that. So this is about programming languages. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. In the next class, we will see about web servers and server products.